You may have noticed in the monster truck community that there's been a lot of pretty negative reviews about the 2025 season.
I did think that this season was pretty good, but it didn't live up to the hype that was the 2024 Monster Jam season.
I absolutely love monster trucks, and more specifically Monster Jam, and although I wouldn't consider myself a purist, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that old Monster Jam has that spark that made it so special compared to newer Monster Jam. Part of that is because, well, the company that owns Monster Jam now, Feld Motorsports. And to throw this out there, I don't hate modern Monster Jam or Feld Motorsports. I'm only making this video because I want to see the sport grow and thrive, and I'm not here to completely dunk on Kenneth Feld or Jamie Dulsing, but there have been a lot of questionable business moves that absolutely anger not just me, but also some of the community. I don't speak for everyone though. Some of you may agree with what I say, and some of you may not, and that's okay. All this is just for fun before the 2026 season begins. And also a glimpse into my vision of how Monster Jam would be if I owned it. But that's all I gotta say. Here's the top 10 things that I would change about Monster Jam in no particular order.
I have trouble using my phone. I have trouble using Facebook.
Take away fan judging. Yeah, this one is pretty universal. I don't think anyone wants a bad judge, or in this case, the fans. Like, obviously no one wants to score unfairly, with that primarily being children who vote unfairly. Now, I will give Monster Jam their flowers, as professional judges have actually balanced things out. But every so often there's still controversy over who should have won, especially in this year's World Finals, where 75% of it was actually scored from professional judges. And yet, Blake Ranger won, and some people thought that Zach Garner should have won. So there's no true way that will ever fix all of our problems, but having professional judges will make it a whole lot more fair and legit. So I think it'd just be better if professional judges were added and the fans were excluded.
Look at this on board. That's a great shot. Oh.
Backwards Bob and Northern Nightmare came back last year, and they have not run since. Why? Because the names of the trucks were trademarked, and to prevent certain people from buying these names, like what happened to Bulldozer and or Radical Rescue, they had to run these trucks one time and then shelve them. This is more so a loophole in trademark laws, but I don't think I'm alone in thinking that these names should obviously run full time. You can argue that it's due to cost, but that doesn't make sense, as these trucks are F-150s, which cost way less than trucks like Thunder Roarus with a very complex body design, and clearly cost way more than these simple 2D bodies. But if you seriously don't want to run these trucks full-time, then have them run full-time maybe every other season or so, or make them World Finals exclusives only.
Altero Loco?
I want less 3D bodies. Before I continue, what is a 3D or a 2D truck? I went over this in another video, but to sum it all up, a 2D body is a real life or fictional vehicle, and a 3D body has nothing to do with a truck or otherwise a real vehicle. There's multiple variations, but at the end of the day, that's how I define it. Now, this is more so like a personal thing I have, but I just don't like 3D bodies very much, or just the oversaturation of them. This doesn't mean get rid of 3D trucks entirely, but have way less of them. Okay, no, kill them all.
Respect the dick. Respect the dick.
You know how other sports make their schedule announcements exciting and professional? Well, now we look over on the other side of the coin and look at Monster Jam, and it's baby pictures. Yeah, I can't figure out why or how they thought this was a good idea. I suppose it's to get the fan base to speculate, but this is possibly the worst way to do it. Like, seriously, if you already have the drivers picked out for the tours, maybe instead of showing baby pictures, can you just show the names right there instead? For the kid fan base, which I absolutely despise, I'm pretty sure this is the target audience and they might enjoy it. But to us older fans, this is just another eye roller if you are like me. The main thing that I do is just don't watch them in protest and just wait for the results to come out. Like, seriously, all you have to do is just make it look professional, and you don't even have to go too far for a better example. Go to 2022 and watch that. That was professional, and I would much prefer that over baby pictures. I don't know, maybe I'm just grown up, but I'm just really sick of all of it.
I gotta be smoking them BKTs to be saying that.
I would have the Superstar Challenge every year. So this is more wishful thinking from me, yay, but hear me out for a moment. The Superstar Challenge would be around every year in October or November and act as a World Finals event before the off-season begins. I wouldn't change a single thing about the team format, but I would make it last 2 to 3 days, so that way Best Trick and other competitions can be more interesting. Having the Superstar Challenge every year also ties into my idea for what I have for the tours, which I'll discuss in a second, but first,
I'm Candy Murphy, driver Bakugan Dragonoid.
I'm going to lose some people with this one, but I really would like to see it. I would experiment with a numbering system like NASCAR or MLMT. Kinda, but not in the way MLMT would do it. That seriously looks ugly, like kill it with fire, get it out of my face. When I say numbering system, I don't mean apply it to all the trucks, cause I don't think that would work at all. I would say apply it to the drivers. Like the driver can pick a 1, 2, or even a 3-digit number to be put on their fire suit. Why? I don't know, mostly just for fun. Seriously, MLMT, you did this truck dirty. Yeah, I don't see this ever working if you survive 2008.
It's cool, and they may call this Pepsi 400, but Coca-Cola still tastes a hell of a lot better, so.
Back to this conversation about tours. If you aren't aware, the Monster Jam season structure is split into 4 quarters throughout the whole year, and I propose an idea to shorten it down to just 2 quarters. Quarter 1 will have the World Finals event, and quarter 2 will have the Superstar Challenge. As for what I'm trying to push here, which is the tours, here's all of them that I would add. The Monster Gun has never once been used for an actual tour in the United States, so let's make a tour completely around it. I also noticed that with the exception of Atlanta, speedways have slowly been getting phased out of Monster Jam. Unless it's to give the sport a more professional look, I never understood why. Why not visit some local dirt tracks and some more NASCAR speedways? If anything, you'd be going back to Monster Truck's old roots. Australia can still get their own separate tour from International though. Now, is this more wishful thinking, with the thought of money being an afterthought? Yes it is. But would it be cool to have all these tours? Yes. I feel like Monster Jam is slowly becoming NASCAR, but in the worst way imaginable. First, we have the very bad NASCAR playoffs format, and Monster Jam took notes and completely changed their format for the World Finals. Before, the field would either do racing and freestyle in 1 or 2 days, but no matter what, every single truck would compete that night. I'll explain this format briefly, as most of my viewers are diehard fans and already know how this works, but for those that aren't in the know, this year 28 trucks are competing in the World Finals. They will be split into 2 groups of 14 trucks. First day we'll do racing and freestyle, and the next day the same thing happens except the group switches. That's how it works. Now, I will address the elephant in the room. The 2025 World Finals, now that I had more time to reflect on it, was actually one of the best ones since COVID. But that still doesn't take away the anticlimactic racing on the first day. I can't be the only one that felt empty after that final race. At the end of the day though, I'd suggest Monster Jam completely gets rid of this format and go back to what works. Cause looking at this, it's less like a professional sport and more like a workaround for a Rigs or Rods or ROMJ tour when their drivers can't show up.
Who cares? Who cares?
Back in 2018, that's when they got rid of zoomies, which are these tubular exhausts that make more noise as they don't have a muffler to dampen the noise. The exact reason why Feld got rid of them is because of them being too loud, but I'll break the bad news right here. That's the whole point. When they got rid of them, it was just another element of excitement taken away that I would really want back. Now, I will say this now, I don't actually mind the new headers that much, but it lacks variety in both sound and looks. Which is why it was so refreshing to see Avenger use a different header, but from what I know, he doesn't seem to be running these anymore. There's actually a rumor going around that in 2026, Monster Jam will be replacing their normal headers with these mufflers. Now, you may be thinking, Arena Pod, who cares? Why would you care about the trucks being quieter as long as you get a good show? This sounds like Beam G. I swear we are completely doomed as a fan base if this is the meta going forward.
And that's the bottom line!
Santa Claus.
That's so!
I've already talked a lot of in this video, but this whole list is not even half of the things that I would do to Monster Jam. Most notably, bring back Crush Cars to normal shows, 32 truck field in the World Finals, Fantasy Monster Jam, different truck at each show, blah blah blah. Yeah, the list goes on, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some. But there's one that interests me the most. Releasing the entire archive of Monster Jam's history. There's a lot of talks about this going around in both USHRA and also the entire fan base. There's been talks for years, but it seems like this time they're actually listening. I didn't include this video because there's not much I have to say about it other than I'm excited to see this footage, and also please release all of it. I want that Hawaii footage, damn it.
I'm telling you, man, those guys really touched me last night.
There's a problem with Monster Jam's point system. I was watching a video from another Monster Truck creator, I don't know, you may not know him, and a snippet from Charlie's video, he said,
And a final criticism I have is of the points format. Not even that I think the format themselves are wrong, but there's no stakes to it. Looking at the World Finals roster, when you looked at who got in and who didn't, looking at points, Devin Winfield was snubbed, but Cody Saucier and Brianna Mahan were put in. I don't really know how a points format is going to really be anything worth following along when it's not even guaranteeing that a high placement is going to get you a spot in the World Finals. It doesn't give the points format any bite, any teeth to it.
well, I think I know a way to fix the issue of undeserving drivers. And now, here's how it works. Both stadium tours and all the arena tours will be combined together. Arenas usually have more shows than stadiums on a weekend, so I'm keeping stadiums and arenas separate. As the season goes on, the driver will gain or lose points just like normal. However, since every single tour is connected into one single standing, you will not only compete against trucks on your tour, but also against the entire fleet of trucks running in separate tours. Top 12 in stadiums and top 11 in arena points will automatically be in the World Finals, while the top 6 below the cutoff line in both point standings will have an automatic invitation into the LCQ. This leaves absolutely no room for doubt to who deserves to be in the World Finals, whether that be in the LCQ or in the main field. Now, just for fun, I ran this through the 2025 point standings myself, and it's pretty interesting. Jim Kohler, Cynthia Gauthier, and Kristen Anderson would all be in the LCQ and not the main field, while Devin Winfield, MJ Solorio, Tony Oaks, Fernando Martinez would all make it into the main field. And the most surprising part to me when I was writing all of it, Kayla Blood, Joe Foley, and Jamie Gardner would not even make it into any competition into the World Finals. I'm not going to go through the entire thing. You can pause here and read it all for yourself if you want to pick apart all the details, as it's surprising. Now, is this perfect?
No.
However, it's way fair to do this format rather than have all of it mean nothing in the end and Monster Jam just ends up picking favorites. If you have a fix for this format or have a different way of crowning a deserving champion for World Finals, then let me know on Discord or in the comments. There's so much room for an interesting discussion here, and I would love to have one. So, that's my top 10 list on how to fix Monster Jam. Am I what the sport needs, or am I just a dictator and just as bad as the people in charge? I'd like to know. A couple announcements. I'm working on technically two documentaries that are planned to come out in January, and one of them is a collaboration, so look out for that. I also want to address my horrible upload schedule. It takes me a while to upload because I'm trying to balance this and also with my personal life. Plus, it doesn't help that I'm a quality over quantity kind of person, so my standards for these videos are up because I want to make these videos more entertaining for you guys. But I'll lower my standards for a little bit and try to upload at least 2 to 3 times a month, or maybe even more. So just cut me a little bit of slack. I'm just one guy that works on everything myself. In all seriousness, thank you for riding along on this YouTube journey with me. We're just getting started, and we're going to continue the momentum into 2026. If you're new and you enjoyed this video, I really hope I earned your subscription. I hope you had a good 2025 and have a Merry Christmas. I'm Douglas, your host of Arena Pod. Until next time,